rush through something and then take 3 times as long as you need to because you have to troubleshoot all these weird issues. And what's even worse than that is you end up with lingering doubts as to whether your workmanship is good. So don't be that person. Take your time and really enjoy the process as much as you can and try to make the product as perfect as you can. Then you'll be able to rely on this thing for years to come.
Hello everyone. Sorry, couldn't do the intro. I needed some time to catch my breath. But we are in Series 2 between Surely We Scale and Bunker Fun Time. Now, really quickly, okay, I'm going to show the map picks, but it was map pick selected by Surely We Scale, and they're going to ban away Dragonshire and Brax's Holdout, Bunker Fun Time, banned out Cursed Hollow, and Sky Temple. So we are on Battlefield of Eternity. Okay, you're caught up. Let's get going. Ain't no time to waste back here. Stukov going to get banned away by Bunker Fun Time as they do get set up for the second series of the day. And now the Stukov, we've seen it banned every single game in our first series of the day. Wouldn't be too surprised to see it consistently getting banned away in this second series as well. Definitely one of those tilt heroes, but we are in Division B West now, by the way, in case I did miss that little bit. And Sylvanas going to get banned by Surely We Scale. Now, Sylvanas also makes a decent amount of sense, is really good in team fights, is able to reposition quite a bit more than most other carries, has very consistent damage. Now, has a little less control over where the damage is dealt. It is a bit more complicated because of that Q. You do need to be in a specific range of people, depending on who do you want to hit. If you want to really try targeting people out instead of just having generic DPS. Now, Bunker Fun Time also going to ban out the Junkrat. As Surely We Scale will have that fourth and final ban coming out shortly. Now, for Battlefield of Eternity, racing heroes are going to be very important to have if either of these two teams are going to go for it. And because of that, it is going to be Vala banned away first. As I realized I never said the predictions. Let me go ahead and do that. That's Surely We Scale.
There is always hope.
Fun Time. Perfect. Let's get that prediction going. But Oriel gonna be the first pick for Die Cello. Now, it's a very solid healer, especially in team compositions that like grouping. So Deathball comps are definitely going to be more powerful here. As Surely We Scale going to lock in Chromie for Tie-Dye Tights and the Dahaka for Ector. Now, Dahaka has a little bit less value on BOE, but it's still a very powerful hero overall. And especially that drag is so strong during these team fights, during these skirmishes. And while Brushstalker's not going to be able to get maximum effectiveness on this map, there's still quite a bit of distance between that top lane and that bottom lane. So if they're going to be, if they want to try use that extra pressure, they definitely could. Now for Bunker Fun Time, Joanna going to get locked in for Zednam and Hanzo for Plant Facts. So again, definitely starting to point a bit more towards that Deathball composition. But Melthiel actually going to get banned by Surely We Scale. Now that's a really interesting ban to have this early on. Now obviously it's fine into Dahaka, but they haven't picked 3 of their heroes yet. And Melthiel's typically picked into that high HP frontline. And I think as a response, that Diablo is going to get banned away. Because Melthiel's a very big counter to Diablo. There's still a couple of other options that could be good for Surely We Scale that are also high HP. If that's the angle they do want to play on. They could still go the Muradin route. But for now, they're just going to lock in the Anduin for Kagamine Len and the Anubarak for Memes. So that's going to be able to provide quite a bit more safety and a little bit more engaged. Now, Surely We Scale, they don't really have anyone that's good at racing, but neither do Bunker Fun Time. I mean, Chromie and Hanzo, they're both going to be able to DPS quite well. But the real question is who's going to be able to actually race onto these Immortals. Now, Zul'jin, that's going to be one of those picks that can definitely hit the Immortals, that can definitely melt down the HP. And the final pick going to be the Hogger for Alumini Bree. Now, Hogger, as I've always said, my favorite offlaner in the game. I don't even know that hero on my account, but maybe one day I'll be able to get it. Super fun to watch, watching the Dynamite. Hog Wild specifically, in my opinion, it's the single most fun ability in the entire game. And Thrall going to be the final pick for Ulysses. So yeah, it definitely looks like Surely We Scale, they're not trying to race, they are trying to team fight. Thrall and Chromie can definitely DPS onto the Immortal, but they will always lose to the Zul'jin Hanzo. However, their teamfight ability is really powerful. Thrall with the Earthquake or the Sundering, either of those heroics, is going to be incredibly disruptive and is going to be able to fight incredibly well. But with that, it's time for game number 1. All right, and we're just about done loading into Battlefield of Eternity, the battleground of our first game between Surely We Scale and Bunker Funtime. Oh, excuse me. Well, with that, we're ready to go in, and it's going to be really fun to see what kind of builds these two teams go on. Now, Young Tex is playing on that Zul'jin, and most of the time with this new meta, since the new talent changes to Zul'jin, specifically with this passive getting changed, Ju-On Axe getting slightly nerfed in terms of the auto attack damage that comes out, we do see more of a spellcaster-oriented Zul'jin talent build coming out. But we will have to see what they do pick. Now, already it looks like Surely We Scale. Ooh, as I'm on the wrong screen, I just realized. Sorry about that. Misclick. We should be fine from now on. That's the fun part about watching your stream in 30-second delay. You only notice those issues quite a bit later. Still worked out with what I was saying. But now that they're going to start grouping up in this bot lane. It is 4v5. Extra able to land the drag onto the main target. Young Tex going to get taken down low. And with the Impale, they'll have more than enough damage to finish off the kill. And that is the single best target they could have gotten for that drag. Ector with the massive play-in with the Brush Stalker. This is a use case for it. Like I said, it's not quite as powerful as on the big maps, but the Brush Stalker being able to have that 5v4 at the start and still continue and still be there for the soak in the top lane, that's where the use case really comes in. But now with that, they're able to get at least some damage onto this wall. About half HP on the gate, about a third taken down from the top cannon tower. And now with that, they're sending 2 members top for Alumini Brig, but with the Hog Wild, might be able to jump away, but actually going to be put in a very difficult spot. But we'll mount up and we'll just run it out. Definitely going to be forced to Hearth out. Not where you want to be as an offlaner. And actually not even going to Hearth out, just going to run right past and through the lane. However, during that moment, Bunker Funtime, they will use the fact that they had more members in the bot lane, and they will take down the siege camp. Now, it is going to be recklessness, so it is going to be that extra spell power, which is typically what we see in the current Zul'jin builds. Just more of that spell value with the Twin Cleave. As now Young Tech's just trying to get a little bit of damage onto this wall. And Alumini Brie not struggling in the 1v2, but definitely is kind of forced to be in it. And not where the Hogger really shines, but there is a pretty big push happening over in the bot lane. Only one Impaler left, but still, the wall taking a decent chunk of damage. Level 4 to level 3 now as well, as the dogs will land onto Alumini Brie. The Ravenous Spirit Root definitely providing a little bit of value, but the bottom cannon tower is already gone, and these Impalers, they're just continuing to work onto these structures. Alumini Brie gonna struggle to approach them. Now, Ulysses did back out, so Alumini Brie with the staggering blow will be able to start clearing them away. But definitely a hard position to be in. Ector getting so much value here. Will have the stun, will have the drag. Hogwild gonna be used just for a little bit of extra damage. As now Diachel and Plant Fax gonna be clearing away their Bruiser camp, as are Ulysses and Kalagamine Len. So both Bruiser camps are going to be pushing out, and the Immortals are spawning in 5 seconds, but Alumini Brie is going to be solo to start this. We'll be able to help clear the rest of this wave, but Alumini Brie in a bad spot now, 4 members strong. For Surely We Scale up here, Extra going to be able to dismount Alumini Brie, and with the drag should be enough damage, but the staggering blow actually builds quite a bit of space. Same with the Dynamite, able to heal back up, and with the Health Orbs will be fine overall. And now we are already in that halftime. As right now, Bunker Funtime definitely have the leads, and Surely We Scale, they want to team fight. Don't forget, they have a team fight composition The Young Tech's able to get quite a bit of damage. Alamini Bree still low, and with the Hog Wild will be able to get away. Definitely needs to Hearth or something, but Young Tech's just trading onto Hector, getting those stacks, and those auto attacks are dealing quite a bit of damage already. And just trying to get the little bit of poke over the wall. But no one on Sure Louis scale has been able to really DPS onto the Immortals quite yet. Now, the Bruiser camp is already down in the bot lane, but the one at the top lane still pushing in. Will get finished off now. Ulysses gets started on it, but Zednem starting to play forward. They're looking for Hector. Hector going to get taken down a bit low, but does have the drag. And they have so many stuns onto Alamini Bree afterwards, but Cello is really good at these compositions. Is really good at these fights. That's why you take Oreo for these death ball compositions. So now Ulysses will land the Ravenous Spirit, but not going to be able to get too much else after that. That's still a good chunk of stacks. 9 stacks now on Yuan Axe. And obviously you need 5 autos for each one of those stacks. Already 8 on Journeyman cooking. So it will be that dynamite talent coming through. As the Haka is going to get that tissue regeneration, trying to get that more and more HP. But the Immortals already pushing in. They're already going to be able to finish off the wall. And on this first Immortal, finishing off the wall is already a win. It means just getting autoed relentlessly by Young Tex will be able to get the stun. And actually will be able to get the kill. Ulysses, with the help of the Ford, will be able to get that. So that's 2 for nothing in terms of kills in favor of Bunker Funtime. But the objective is still definitely going in favor, in favor of Sure Louis Scale. The objective is going in favor of Bunker Funtime, but not going to be able to amount to too much as Hector is still bullying onto Alamini Bree. And the Hog Wild going to get used, but actually gets knocked back the wrong way. Staggering blow will buy a little bit of space. The Dynamite will actually heal Alamini Bree, but Ulysses is here. And with the Ravenous Spirit, will be able to get that kill. 3-0 overall in favor of Sure Louis Scale. And now they're able to push back a little bit on the top lane. They will finish off the wall as well. And with the Siege Camp spawned, they could look towards that as well. But they do have enough members here from Bunker Funtime. They could try to contest. Now the time trap is going to be there. Will that be enough? Zednem with the Iron Skin will be able to get back onto the point. And the Condemn lands onto 3. Hector, though, is onto the backline, but the Detainment Strike is going to prevent it. But look at that Burrow Charge, able to land onto all 3. They're all stuck in the slowing sand. It's just Zednem left alive, but not for long. Tie-Dye Tights able to land the Sandblast. And it's going to be another 3-0 for Sure Louis Scale. I mean, that's exactly what they wanted. They're going to be able to get quite a bit from that play. They got the 3 kills. They got the camp. And now Hector is going to be able to clear this wave. Now, the W nerf's definitely working out there a bit, making it a bit slower to clear it out. But that's going to be so much damage onto this fort. And now they're even able to bring enough players down here that Ulysses should be able to just solo lock into this bottom siege camp as well. Now, they are bringing 3 members top to just try and keep this fort alive. Because if they didn't bring anyone else, this fort would definitely have gone down. And the Sound 51, thank you very much for the rate of 7 viewers. For everyone just joining us, this is Series 2 of the day. But Hector getting caught out right now, is in stasis, will be able to heal back enough. And now the Burrow Charge will be able to buy enough space. They do have the level 10 advantage on Sure Louis Scale, so they do need to be careful on the side of Bunker Funtime, as they do have 5 members here. Alamini Bree is here in the back line as well, but now they have the Light Bomb. It will land on it too. Young Tex will go down. Cello surely will follow. And that's going to be another 2-0 in favor of Sure Louis Scale. Now with that, they're even going to be able to steal away this Bruiser camp, and they'll be in a good position to once again just come back and start DPSing onto these Immortals. Now, sorry for that interruption as I was bringing everyone in, but we are on Series 2, Game 1 between Sure Louis Scale and Bunker Funtime. It's definitely been more teamfight oriented in favor of Sure Louis Scale, but the first Immortal did go the way of Bunker Funtime, and that's why we have the top lane fort the way it is. You're caught up, and we can get right back into the action as Sure Louis Scale this time around gonna be able to take the fort in a resounding fashion. Still over 16,000 HP left on their own Immortal. Now Young Tex is in a bad spot, but will be able to dodge away onto everything. Level 10s are now up, though. Now out of the main talents, it is going to be Dragon's Arrow. It's going to be that stun. Going to be the Falling Sword, though, instead of the Blessed Shield. coming out of Zednam. And now they're looking in the backline. They have the shield glare onto 3. And again, the condemn onto 3. But the Iron Skin not there yet for Zednam. And actually won't have it at all. So that will be just a clear kill for Shurluby Scale. 9-0 now. As PlanFax just trying to DPS onto this Immortal. And it's still shielded. They should be able to take down this entire fort pretty cleanly. And now the Resurrect was used to bring Zednam back in, so that's why they're there. But now Young Tex in a bad spot. The Tazdego's there. Same with the Falling Sword. They're able to land it on it too, and Ulysses is a little bit low. But with the Ravenous Spirit, able to find Young Tex, able to find Young Cello. That's it. Now Zednam was in the cocoon, but with the Iron Skin, will be able to walk away a good chunk of the way. But now the Light Bomb and the Ravenous Spirit, they're going to be able to get the kill back again. Zednam respawn just to go back down. And this Immortal dealing so much damage. It got the fort. It got the wall. And now they have the pressure on the top lane. Ector winning really hard in this 1v1. And now the Bro Charge not going to land onto Alumini Bree, but doesn't even need to. Hog Wild will be able to provide a little bit of space for Alumini Bree. But surely with the Dragon's Breath will go down. Now a little bit of poke does come out both ways. The scatter shot talents are done. So they do have those 2 extra talents. But at this point, Shurluby Scale has a massive lead. Both forts, 2 full levels. And it's still going to be growing because they have control of all the neutral camps as well. And it's really just going to be up to Bunker Funtime to try and get something back in their favor. Now Ector is running down. It looks like Ector doesn't want to give away the siege camp, but even if they started, they just don't have enough DPS to take down this Dahaka before they can go into stasis. So with that, Ector will be able to just pressure them off of this bot lane siege camp entirely on their own, and this will grow the lead to almost 2 full levels. Now the Bruiser camp is only going to be spawning in about 1 minute, so they're not going to be able to take that. As MDC, thank you very much for this Prime, as we do hit our new record of 32 subs. Now with this siege camp, with this wave, Shurluby Scale, they're going to have good pressure in the bot lane. They're going to have passive pressure in the top lane thanks to this cannon. And the Immortals are spawning in 15 seconds. And their Bruiser camp is still up, so they can take that. And the Bruiser camp on the side of Bunker Funtime not going to be up for 30 more seconds. If they want to start it, they're going to have to do it while the Immortals are available, or maybe during their halftime. But either way, not going to be enough time. They will have to give away pressure if they want it. But now level 13 talents did get hit by Bunker Funtime, so they could look to fight. The fighting composition definitely favors Shurluby Scale. Ulysses going to get hit by the Detainment Strike. Zednam able to pull them back, but the healing coming out of Kagamine Len is more than enough. The Dynamite just looking for a little bit of poke, and the Power Shots, or sorry, the Stormbow coming out from PlanFax, helping out as well. Detainment Strike once again onto Ulysses. Alumini Bree getting poked out pretty hard. But bit by bit, they're poking down the Immortal. They're poking down the lineup of Shurluby Scale. But Kagamine Len hasn't lost any mana doing this. As Young Tex with a Twin Cleave able to get just a little bit more pressure. And now Shurluby Scale, they want to start going for it as Alumini Bree will go in with the Hornpool. Dragon Arrow will land, and they're onto the Chromie, but the Chromie is in stasis. Tie-Dye Tide's gonna get low, gonna get rooted up, but the Leap of Faith gonna prevent it. And now Tazdigo is coming out. Light Bomb lands on it too. They're gonna be able to take down Young Tex. They're gonna be able to take down the Oriole. Now Zednam trying to back away, but with the Burrow Charge, with the extra roots, they're gonna be able to get 3. Shurluby Scale, they don't need to scale. They've won the early game. They're winning out on the mid game. And now they can just steal the Bruiser camp again, and they can push onto the Immortals again. And during all of this, the Bruiser camp just dealing so much damage over to this bot lane. Now, this wall was destroyed the last time the Immortal was spawned, but this keep was not this slow. And now it's going to be halftime. And it is a little bit low damage coming out from Shurluby Scaling in terms of killing the Immortal. But because they were able to win these team fights, it doesn't matter how slow their race is because they have all the time in the world. Bunker Funtime just cannot walk forward. And with that, Bunker Funtime, they will try clearing away some of these waves. And they're going to send all 5 members to the bot lane while the Immortal will be pressuring out the top. And now they have the Burrow Charge and the Light Bomb. Cello is unstoppable, but there's just too much damage. Now Dragon Arrow lands on all 5. Now they can start bringing it back. The Dynamite will explode as well. Alumini Bree is in the backline looking for Tie-Dye Tights. It is a 1-for-1, and now Hornipult, Tie-Dye Tights is going to get hit by the staggering blow. Now Hector trying to jump away and will be able to actually. That Brush Stalker is very powerful, but that's a huge team fight victory for Bunker Funtime. And because of how fast the play was, they can still run up and they can still start defending onto this Immortal. And now they can just freely hit onto it. However, Ulysses not done with the pressure in the bot lane. Alamini Bree is going to be here to reply. As with the Dynamite with the staggering blow, if necessary, should be okay. But now 3 members strong. Coming in for Surely We Scale, but with the Hog Wild. Again, Alamini Bree is going to be safe. The Immortal going to get finished off here. So no keep going down. And if that fight went slightly a different way, Surely We Scale could have taken down both keeps with the pressure from the Immortals. And that was down a talent here too for Bunker Funtime. So massive play for them. They needed that really bad. When you're winning out on the play and you're still down 2 levels afterwards, that just goes to show how bad of a situation they were in. And now they're pressing out the waves. They have the level 16 talents as well. But they need to win this next team fight around the Immortal. Otherwise, Bunker Funtime, they're going to be in an even worse spot. Now, the Immortal did have the wall to go through, but now there's no more wall left. It's just going to be this one keep. And now all 5 members are pushing into the bot lane, looking for Alamini Bree, going to be able to get the Impale. And the Hog Wild will be able to get Alamini Bree back to safety. But what about the keep? There's no one here to defend. Surely We Scale gonna win out on that macro play. Now, Bunker Funtime, at the very least, will be able to get this siege camp over on the top side, but Surely We Scale, they're already on their way back up. They're not going to let these Impalers push in too hard, and they will be able to deal with this, and really good trade for them. Again, just on those macro plays, they're playing a bit faster. They're playing a bit cleaner. Now, the Immortals are spawning in 30 seconds. No level 20 yet for Surely We Scale. So, for a short little while, Bunker Funtime can definitely look to fight, can definitely look to engage. But they're going to be pushed in quite heavily in the bot lane. They're going to get pushed in passively in the top lane. They're on a timer, and I'm pretty sure they know that. Now the Bruiser camp also going to get cleared just to help apply even more pressure, as if there wasn't enough for Bunker Funtime. Now the Immortals are going to spawn. Still no level 20s for either of these two teams. And it doesn't seem like either side really wants to engage right away, but the slower Surely We Scale plays, the better it is for them. If Bunker Funtime try to bring up the paces, now the team fight could be going. They have the Fallen Sword, but not going to be used to too much effect. But now the Hog Wild is coming through. They have the Dragon Arrow as well, and Ulysses is going to be low. And now the Life Bomb will pull in, but it's only onto the front line, but that's more than enough. They're able to get 2, and now it's Dicello and Young Tex trying to run away, but with the extra damage from Ulysses, the Taz Dingo is coming out, but it's just going to kill time. It's not going to kill anyone else. And Plantfax, last survivor, Ulysses with the Ravenous Spirits, actually not going to be able to find Plantfax, able to jump over the wall. But I don't think it matters. That's a 4-for-0. They hit level 20 afterwards. And that will be game number 1, going the way of Surely We Scale. Now, Plantfax can definitely try to defend, but I think this is going to be a very difficult defense to get to work out. As now the revives are coming through, but it doesn't matter. Tie-Dye Tights, Ulysses, just everyone on the side of Surely We Scale will have more than enough damage, and that will be game number 1. All right, and now we use this screen. But either way, massive win for Surely We Scale. They played so patiently. They knew their limits. And the first few fights definitely went the favor of Bunker Funtime. But once they got the lead, once Surely We Scale knew they were in a position to just absolutely take over the fights, once they knew that all of their waves are going to be passively pushing in, they never pushed the agenda unless they knew it was a clear win. Because Bunker Funtime, they had to play fast. They had to... Well, and when you play fast, you're going to inevitably play a bit sloppy. They knew the pressure they had to output, and they did it perfectly. Surely We Scale earned that win, but we're still not done this series. There's going to be at least one more game, maybe even 2. And we'll be back for game 2 after the break. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are in map number 2, Alterac Pass. Let's get those predictions running. I think what I've noticed is I need to wait for the draft to fully begin, and that's when I start it. At least from my end. But either way, it's gonna be the first ban coming out, this time in favor of a Bunker Funtime. They're going to have the first pick once again. And it does seem like they are prioritizing it then, because I believe the losing team gets to decide. Might be wrong, though. But Alterac Pass, definitely one of those bigger maps. A bit less emphasis on team fighting. Macro play definitely coming into more and more value. And this is probably Samuro's best map if either of these two teams do play it. But Stukov still going to be the first ban coming out of Bunker Funtime. They don't want to deal with that at all. As now surely we scale. Gonna have to reply to these bans. And now that game one, overall it was pretty close. I mean, once surely we scale got ahead, they were able to cleanly close it out. But it was looking pretty even. Bunker Funtime were winning out on the races in game number 1. But I don't want anyone to think that this isn't going to be a close series. And if you look over at the standings, because again, we never really had time to have the intro just because of their first series going quite a bit longer. These two teams are neck and neck with each other right now. Bunker Funtime is up 2 points over Surely We Scale, but Surely We Scale has played one less game. So this really decides who has earned these positions. Now Maiev going to get banned away by Surely We Scale. And Bunker Funtime going to ban out the Junkrat. And the final ban will be once again the Sylvanas from Surely We Scale. Just trying to get rid of that extra DPS. Trying to get rid of any of that value, especially on taking down the walls. But this time, Ector not going to be able to play the Dahaka because Alumini Bree going to lock it in for Bunker Funtime. And I think this is definitely going to be a very valuable Dahaka. This is a much taller map. And Blazing Moon, thank you again. Thank you again. Thank you the first time for the Prime sub. And now thank you again for the Prime sub. As we do reach our new record of 33. So yeah, that's pretty big. And now the next picks have been coming through. Surely We Scale will lock in the Anubrak for memes. And Chromie for tie-dye tights. And Oriole, once again, actually going to be coming through for Die Cello. But Surely We Scale did play quite well into it last game. They were able to get a lot of value into the Oriole just by constantly having the Oriole CC'd. If the Oriole cannot fight back, cannot heal, it doesn't matter how much healing it can do overall. And now the Vala going to get locked in for Young Tex as well. And Young Tex is one of the subs right now for Bunker Funtime. Just an important thing to note. And now next set of bans will be coming through. There's still no tank for Bunker Funtime. And because of that, they will get rid of the Joanna. A very solid tank. I mean, we've seen how much value you can get. Falling Sword was picked by Zednam, which I did think was pretty interesting. Unfortunately, didn't end up working out last game, but still a very fun idea. And I've actually been noticing a lot more teams starting to take that Heroic over the Blessed Shield. But now the Anduin will be banned by Bunker Funtime. They're going to get rid of that extra safety, going to get rid of that extra engage from the Light Bomb as well. So Kagamine Len definitely going to have to pick something else. There's not too many healers picked out of the pool right now, just the Stukov, Anduin, and Oriole. So Rhaegar's still available, Brightwing's available out of the more generic ones, and it is going to be the Rhaegar, as Sonya going to get locked in for Ector. So that will be most of their team comp getting shown. They will still need probably one more DPS, maybe someone who's more consistent, probably an auto attacker. But Chromie is one of those few majors that can kind of fulfill that role of main DPS. You definitely want something else with it, but doesn't necessarily have to be an auto attacker. And now for Bunker Funtime, they're going to have Tychus for Plantfax and the Stitches for Zednam. And considering we're on Alterac Pass, I'm actually a little bit surprised the Stitches made it all the way through. I mean, really good on this map. Really annoying to play with at every single moment. as the final pick is going to be the Falstad for Ulysses. Going to be a very good place for Shirley Skill to be sitting in. Now, they do have a pretty solid front line, and they do have the Scarabs from a Nubrak to help deal with the Stitches, but I mean, whenever you have a Stitches, one hook, that's all it takes. And now, before we go into game 2, would like to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of the Tokibi stream, The Legends of Mushroom. Download for free today. All right, and we are loaded in All Track Pass, the second map of today, which I also realized I forgot to add to my Soothsayer application. Oh, there we go. All Track Pass now officially in, as both teams are seeming to be grouping up towards the mid lane, at least to start with their little rotations. Now, what I'm curious about is this talent choice coming out from Falstad and this talent choice coming out from Vala. Because especially on All Track Pass, you can definitely play different types of Falstads. You can do the Hammerang build. You can make it... you can do more auto attack based as well. And it is going to be the auto attack build coming out. Frequent Flyer is there. And now for the side of Young Tex, it's going to... Still haven't shown if it's going to be Creed the Hunter for the auto attack build, or if it's going to be that Hungering Arrow build. And still holding on to that talent, but either way, the push has come through. It is going to be Creed the Hunter, so it is the auto attack. As Young Tex just autoing on to Memes. Gets a lot of damage. Now the drag lands onto Ulysses. Tries to jump away, but not gonna happen. And now with that, it will be First Blood going over to Bunker Funtime. Much better start compared to that game number 1. And now Alamini Bree is going to be matching into Hector on the top side. And this matchup should be a bit easier. Last time Alamini Bree definitely did get worked a little bit by Hector. The Dahaka just absolutely winning out into the Hogger. But with that, they're going to have the pushes coming into all their lanes. Hector going to be matching into that mid lane. As now Young Tex and Dicello are going to go onto their siege camp. And Tie-Dye Tights with the help of Kagamine Lens should be able to take that for themselves as well. Now both sides are still going to be able to get a little bit of push, a little bit of soak. Plantfax matching into Ulysses. And Hector matching into Alamini Bree. Except this time, Alamini Bree should have the easier time in the one-on-one. The drag is not going to land, but Siege Camp going to get finished by Shirley Scale. And will get finished off shortly for Bunker Funtime. As actually, there was a kill in the bot lane. Memes and Ulysses able to get onto the Tychus and get the first kill back in their favor. And now Young Tex and Dicello, here's one. Ulysses isn't that healthy, but with the barrel roll, we'll be able to back away safely. No issues there. And now it's just going to be Zednum over in this mid lane. Plantfax is going to be on the way, but so is Young Tex and Dicello. They could try looking for a play, but with so many minions here, it would definitely be difficult. Another burrow charge has been used. Zednum looking for the hook, but does get blocked by the Scarab. And that's what makes an Ubrak pretty decent into Stitches. It gives a lot of extra things that you kind of have to try aiming around. As Alamini Bree still trading into Hector, and watching these trades is so much fun. I don't know why, but I'm just enjoying it. But Ulysses is alone here. Dicello and Young Tex are here. The Tainment Strike not going to be in range, so they're not going to be able to smack Ulysses into the wall. But they will be able to get this initial bot lane push. And because Ulysses does have the global, will be fine to join the team later on. But it does look like Bunker Funtime, they don't really care about the prisoner camp right now. They know they have a really good position, and Ulysses actually getting hit pretty hard by that extra vault bonus damage. As Young Tex could be in a dangerous spot, is going to just be running behind the wall, and that'll be able to get Young Tex back out to safety. And with the well, will be fine on HP as well, especially with the extra healing from Dicello. Now Alamini Bree already has the wave shoved in the top side. As Hector is here trying to catch onto it as well. But again, Alamini Bree just trying to get in the way. But Memes is going to be able to get started on the camp. Zednem is here to try and defend, try and pull it back. Currently just buying a little bit of time. The Impale does come through, but Alamini Bree will be able to bring it back. And now the drag actually lands as well, and Memes is going to get slowed, but with the Bro Charge will be able to get back out to safety. Now the Siege Camp was taken once again by Kagamine Len and Tie-Dye Tights, as they do have the level 7 advantage just for a little bit. But the Siege Camp will get finished off by Die Cello as well. Now Zednem matching up into the top side. And it is important to keep watch on the Stitches. One hook, that's all it takes. But Alamini Bree not going to be able to land the drag on a Tie-Dye Tights. Was definitely a good look. Was definitely the solid position to aim for it as the hook. Not going to land. I think Zednem was looking for Memes there. Now they are going to send all their members here to deal with the lane. And because of that, Memes going to try to sneak out this camp, but won't be able to this time around. This time Zednem is ready as Young Tex gets a couple more stacks, up to 29 now. But Ector is still able to get so much value in this top lane push. Is Alamini Bree trying to push onto this camp as well, but Memes looking for Alamini Bree with the Ancient Spear that is going to land, but once again just able to walk away, and Zednem will hook Alamini Bree back to safety. The drag not going to hit Ector, but I don't think they had too much follow-up anyway, even if it did hit. As once again, it's going to be Ulysses versus Plantfax here in the bot lane. But now, again, the safety hook for Alamini Bree. Zednem able to keep everyone alive. But now the drag is going to land, and they're looking towards Ector. Detainment Strike as well helps provide quite a bit of value. And now with the hook, Ector just constantly getting pulled back. And with the drag as well, the CC chain just working out with all of those skill shots. There, Kagamine Len will be the next target. Alamini Bree not going to have the drag up in time, but it's still going to be a kill in favor of Bunker Funtime. And they're still going to be able to try pressuring over onto this prisoner camp. And now Alamini Bree currently tanking onto everything. And Die Cello is going to be the one trying to push it in by Tie-Dye Tights. Will throw out the Sandblast, but just a little bit too late. Bunker Funtime, they're going to start the channel, and they have the experience advantage as well. And Kagamine Len started on the Siege Camp, but it looks like they want to try defending on this instead. Young Tex just trying to attack onto Ector, getting jumped by Ulysses as well. And now the trade. Ector going to be taken down to half HP. The hook not going to land as Ulysses gets taken down to about a third HP. Alamini Bree does on the drag on a Kagamine Len, but all the cooldowns were already burned over on that fight towards Ector. But they got a good chunk of push in. They got a good chunk of the timer already gone. 9.9 seconds left. So if they can get back onto the point, they don't need to hold it for that much longer. And during all that, Plantfax was able to get the push in the bot lane. So there's a lot of missing soak over in this bot lane. But now the siege is going to continue. Level 10s are up for both teams. Zednem gonna get hit a little bit by Tie-Dye Tights. And this is what Chromie's really good for on any map, but especially on this map. Just being a nuisance, but Tie-Dye Tights barely dodging away. Now Young Tex looking for it. They have the time trap onto Memes. As now Extra looking to play in the back line. Has the leap available, but the Rain Avengers just buying so much space. And now they have the Gorge as well. Young Tex trying to get away, and the leap not going to be in range. Young Tex run away and will be fine. But that's still going to be no one going down. Alamini Bree now in the middle of everyone. Will go in stasis just in time, but might be alone. Zednem trying to buy some space. Crystal Age just comes out, and now Ector is the one in danger, but the Gust will save Ector, and Ulysses almost gets pushed down by Plantfax as well. And just an absolutely close team fight, but neither side able to get the win. But they still have Isolation. They still have Odin. And now they have Memes as well. They're looking towards them, but they have recaptured the camp. And that's all they need to do. If they can just hold on to this for 5 more seconds, they will have the extra push. And with the hooks zoning them away, Bunker Funtime will be able to win out on the objective. And they will have the cavalry arriving. And now it is 7.5 minutes in when they got that objective. So this cavalry not going to be as weak as some of it sometimes is when you're able to get the objective early. It does scale with time. So now they have the extra push coming in, and it looks like they're going to do the 1-3-1 setup. Plantfax top lane against Ector, actually. Because now Young Tex just going to get started onto this wall. And with the cavalry, they will have the bonus damage. But again, it is still decently early game for them as well. Now the gate's already gone. Cannon Tower going to get finished off here as well. And now Memes looking to play forward again, but the hook not going to land. And Young Tex almost burst down. And they have the temporal loop But with the Crystal Aegis, they're gonna be fine. Young Tex able to just back away. Rain of Vengeance. And actually, Young Tex vaults in forward. Detainment Strike not gonna land, but it was just Kagamine land on the Rhaegar. Not too much pressure there. But Aluminum Bree able to force off Ulysses and will be able to take down this bot lane fort. That's gonna be a massive win for Bunker Funtime. Now, Odin was used by PlanFact, trying to run away from memes. The Impale not gonna land. The PlanFact will be able to just back away as well. Now, this top lane fort also took quite a bit of damage. Now, Hector could be in a bad spot. It does have leap if necessary, but will not be forced to use it. And now Ulysses is going to be able to clear out the rest of the bot wave, but Bunker Funtime, they're still pushing forward. Memes has to use the burrow charge defensively, so that's not going to be available if they want to use it to engage. They're just DPSing onto this fort. This fort very low, gonna get finished off. Detainment Strike lands onto memes as well, and with the hook, they're gonna be able to finish off memes as Hector gonna get dismounted, and the Dragon Breath gonna come out from Tie-Dye Tights to zone, but that's all it's going to do. It's still another fort and another kill going the way of Bunker Funtime. And they're performing quite well this time around. Game 1, definitely Surely We Scale favored. But Game 2, Bunker Funtime doing a lot better. And now they're aiming towards this boss as well. Should be able to clear it pretty easily. But right now, Tie-Dye Tights and Ulysses actually has a pretty decent push in the bot lane. They will try to answer over down in the bot lane. But now Bunker Funtime, do they want to answer it? It looks like they do. They're sending in all their members. Do they have enough DPS to finish off this boss before Bunker Funtime get there? It does seem like they do, but Aluminum Bree is going to be in the way, but the boss, being as low as it is with all 5 members, just going to go the way of Surely We Scale. But one advantage they do have is they have all 5 members here to defend into the boss immediately. But Surely We Scale, they're only going to get to the boss after it's already reached the wall. And it's just absolutely smashing it down, as the boss is already going to be at around half HP when reaching the fort for Bunker Funtime. Now with a little bit of DPS, it's not even going to get too much value onto this fort, just going to get a couple smacks, but that's a good chunk of the top lane wall getting absolutely removed by the boss for Bunker Funtime. So while overall the bosses were traded, the overall advantage definitely going the way of BFT. And as they do land a hook on a Kagamine Len, but it was more fun watching the boss anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I apologize for that. But yeah, Kagamine Len gonna go down just as the next prisoner camp is ready for the channel. And they're gonna walk it right in. They have 5 members here as they're looking for the hook. And oh, that was a blind one, but actually decently close to Hector, who was playing a bit safe, hiding behind. Yeah, well, I don't even know what these guys are called. The Gnolls. Bit by bit, I'm learning more of the nomenclature in the game. And now with that, they're already channeling onto it, already halfway through. Ulysses just going to be passively pushing out the top side. That's all they can really do. And it looks like Surely We Scale, they're going to try to just do that. They're going to try to scale. They're not going to care too much about this objective. But now they are starting to group as 4. Ulysses is the only one not here. Memes just trying to poke away a little bit at the camp, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it. It will go down, and it is going to be another set of cavalry pushing in for Bunker Funtime. But in the meanwhile, Ulysses still pushing in the top lane, and this fort should go down. But it's going to be running away now that the rest of Bunker Funtime is starting to arrive. The hook not going to land. Just going to be a blind one, looking into that brush, but no one was in it. Now with that, the main fort is going to be over in the bot lane, so I do suspect this is where both teams are going to apply the pressure. Bunker Funtime want to shove in with this. Now they are picking out the time trap, so they did see it. Now the hook is going to land onto memes, but the unstoppable is there. That's still going to be half of memes' HP gone, and that is going to be a pretty major defensive ability used. And now Odin picked Pop for PlanFact, as they're going to start autoing onto it. But now Young Tex is in a bad spot. And with the Crystal Aegis, will be fine for now. And almost gets burst down. But the healing from Dicello is just enough. And the damage from Tie-Dye Tights is just barely not enough. Now with a couple more autos, they will be able to finish off this mid lane fort. As now Aluminum Bree is already on this keep as well. Now Aluminum Bree could be getting jumped by multiple members. Is starting to get low with the Impale. Now the stasis is there. And I think Aluminum Bree knows that they're going to die, so may as well just get a little bit more damage onto the keep. Get that extra value. But that's the entire bot lane wall and most of the keep gone just for 1 kill in favor of Shirley Scale. And with both bosses off the map, there's no objectives on the map. That death definitely isn't that bad. They still have a level advantage, almost a full level, in favor of Bunker Funtime. And may have been worth it just to get that extra little bit of deeps, extra little bit of pressure. However, now, Shirley Scale, they're looking for this top lane forward. Want to get at least 1 lane back in their favor. And with that, they will have that back to neutrality. And now Zednam still positioning forward. Is actually playing a very interesting angle. They see them. And now it is going to be Memes walking forward, just going to toss out the scare. But they see Ector. And now Ector trying to run away as well. But will be able to just take the long way away and just going to hearth back to safety. And while they were chasing them, Ulysses was pushing the bot lane. But now Alamini Breeze here as well. Could be looking for this one-on-one. The drag not going to land. Was definitely a good look coming out of Alamini Bree. Now the poke in the mid lane. They're able to get onto Kagamine Len, and Kagamine Len will be able to jump back out, and the Ancestral Healing is going to come out and will keep Kagamine Len alive. But that was a lot of cooldowns forced out. They had to use the Temporal Loop, the Ancestral Healing, and the Cocoon just to keep Kagamine Len alive. However, they did use the Crystal Aegis for the Temporal Loop and the Gorge as well. Rain of Vengeance will be back up shortly. That was used as well, but that is a shorter cooldown and does hold charges. And now Zednam looking for Ulysses, not going to be able to land the hook there. As Hector jumps in with the Ancient Spear, but with no one there to really follow up on that play, it is a safe way to just maximize the DPS from the Sonya. But now the Mountain Giant is up in the top lane, and the camps have respawned here also on the top side. Now Alamini Bree is slowly but surely pushing in the bot lane. And they do have to be careful, because if Alamini Bree is able to get far enough in, could just take down this keep. It is not very healthy at this stage of the game. Now Plantfax is going to be trying to clear away the siege camp, but Shirley Scale, they immediately want to push in with this, but the hook almost lands onto Memes, but actually they have everything pushing into this point. And now Young Tex is still alive. They're just trying to trade onto the point. And now they're just trying to survive, but it will get stolen. And right now, Young Tex will be the first to go down. Cello maybe the next, but will be saved by the wall. Zednam looking for Ector, same with Alamini Bree. But the healing will be coming out. Plantfax just trying to DPS over the wall. But very confident engage from Ector. That blind leap over the wall into the siege camp. They're going to get a kill. They're going to be able to get rid of one of those stacks of Gambit as well. But they do lose their bot lane keep as a result. So it depends how much more value can they get. Without Young Tex, they're going to be losing a lot of that damage that they are looking for. But Memes is going to get taken down quite low as well from the minigun. So they will be able to retake onto this prisoner camp. And without that, I think it's mostly even. But Cello is going to be pretty low, able to survive a single-digit HP, I think. And will be forced to back up and maybe even take a well or a hearth. Because Cello playing with fire, saying here, one Dragon's Breath will be enough to get the kill as Ector looking to finish off the wall. But Ector got to get low from Plantfax. But the camp has been started once again. 20 seconds left. Zednam just playing forward and has the gust actually pushing Zednam even further back. They're looking for tie-dye tights, but the leap on the backline. They're able to take down the healer. They're able to take down Zednam. And Ector able to take down Hero Tech as well. And it's going to be another 3-0. They have the level 20s on both sides. But with that, they will have the next set of cavalry. Now, the waves are in a terrible spot for them for this push, but because it's 3v5, it doesn't really matter. Now, there is a massive wave, but this is one of those maps where this core is just really strong, especially with two keeps still up. That wave's not going to do anything. It will be able to regen once it clears that out. But now the push, the real push is happening here in the mid lane. Alamini Bree actually going to be able to get a really nice hook. And Ancestor Healing forced out. Memes is going to get healed up by it. And now they have the isolation as well. Odin popped just for that extra damage as they are looking towards Memes, and they're going to be able to take down one. And they could still look forward. Alamini Bree and Plantfax just trying to defend as long as possible. It's 2v3 here with the extra cavalry there as the drag almost landing on the tie-dye tides. Kagamine Len preemptively cleansed it. But they're still going to be able to take down the keep as PlanFax just trying to poke down Ector as much as possible. And with the big red button, not going to be able to get any more down as Ector dodges the hook and is able to back away to safety. But now with that, they should be able to clear away the other cavalry without any issue. But as we can already see, surely we scale. They're prepping for the boss. They want to kill this on spawn and most likely push into the bot lane with it. They're going to be in a very good position to do that. But Bunker Funtime, they're also positioned near the bot lane. If they want, they could try and contest onto this. This is one of those maps where losing a keep doesn't matter that much. If it's just one keep gone, they're not going to lose out on it. And actually, the boss camp not going to get started by Surely We Scale. They're just going to back it out. But Bunker Funtime could definitely look to do it themselves. And they're right on the boss camp, and they will get started on it. So will be a trade of boss camps once again. And once again, Bunker Funtime are going to be the first ones to get it. But those two team fights for Surely We Scale has been massive. It did lower 10% attack speed from Young Tex. And now both boss camps gonna get taken down at basically the same time. But the question is, who's gonna defend and how? Because in theory, if this boss goes untouched all the way until it reaches the core, it could end the game if Bunker Funtime are pushing with it. But it does seem like both teams don't want to do that trade. They don't want to risk it. They're just gonna walk it back, gonna play defensively. As the siege camp will get finished off here by Bunker Funtime. And that will be that. Now that's going to help push in the mid lane, but the boss already on this wall. And unfortunately, the boss here in the bot lane, not going to be able to accomplish too much. They just need to get it low enough that it's not going to be able to end into their core. And frankly, I think they're already past that point. A little bit of a stump just to help buy a little bit of pressure on the map. The top lane wall will get taken down by the top lane boss. But that'll be it. The next prisoner camp will be up in 10 seconds. The bot lane boss also getting cleared out now. But Surely We Scale, they definitely have the inside track to this. But the wave is starting to get stacked over in this top side. So, given a little bit of extra time, I do believe this will eventually push in favor of Bunker Funtime. I don't think it'll push in any meaningful way, so it doesn't matter too much. But now they are walking down here. Both sides definitely looking towards the cavalry as the hook will land onto Ulysses. But they don't have the Gorge. But the Gust will get traded back instead. Oh, if they were able to gorge Ulysses, I think they could definitely get that kill. That could have been massive. But now the Burrow Charge able to land on it too. And look at the burst damage. Zednem gonna go down immediately. Young Tex also gone. Alumini Bree is here now. They're looking towards Ector. And Ector is starting to get low as well. But Cello trying to heal back up, but it's just not enough. The isolation is there. And Ector almost following. But Kagaman Led has more than enough healing available. PlanFax just doing what they can, but Ulysses is here. They have the autos. The big red button is going to help, but all it's going to do is poke them and confuse them as they do finish off this Tychus. But actually, Meme stuck on the wrong side of the wall will get finished off, but the extra snipe from Tie-Dye Tights. That was a massive kill. Being able to at least take down one of the tanks, Alumini Bree will have some kind of options. Looking for Ulysses. Doesn't have the isolation for 20 seconds, so shouldn't be able to get that solo kill. But now with 25 seconds left, the next set of cavalry will be coming in shortly. Now the top wave is building up and could get a little bit of damage on the keep. And it is important to note that these things get pretty strong as we do head into this late game. We're at 23 minutes in. So we can see the camp, the keep is actually getting melted quite a bit by this, but Ulysses gonna show up, gonna clear everything out, and that will be that. But now they have the hook and it's on a Tie-Dye Tights. The Gorge is available as well, but not gonna continue playing there. I actually think if they gorged even Ector, that would have been fine there. Could have definitely gotten that pick, could have definitely gotten some lighter pressure once these cavalries do start pushing in. Now the first one will land through the mid lane. But there is no keep there to slow it down either. They would have to just absolutely clear it. Just max DPS it right away. But they're scared to approach it. They don't know where Surely We Scale are because they're playing through the jungle. Now Zednem is going to be able to spot out this rotation as Memes will get zoned away. But they have the Burrow Charge. Lots of damage in the backline. Temporal Loop onto Zednem. But The Crystal Aegis is there. Now the leap again onto Zednep. And the Burrow Charge lands on it too, but they have the Gorge. But it's on to Memes. And now Plantfax is on the wrong side of the fight. Will have to zone back up, and the Cocoon lands on the Dicello. And I think that should be it. Dicello will go down here shortly. Will get finished off. And actually will trade back. Young Tech's able to get a kill in the top lane. Very needed. Big red button. Gonna help provide some space as well. But they are pushing in. The cavalry is here. 4 members strong. They still have 1 keep worth of armor for the core. How well can they defend? Ancestor Healing coming out for Memes. The core is trying to defend. Big red button just trying to deal as much damage as possible. But I think it's a little bit too late. Surely we scaled. They're gonna get the domination. And they will take down Bunker Funtime. And with that, massive victory for Surely We Scale. And that game 1 was close to start, but that game 2 was close the whole way through. I mean, Bunker Funtime, they did have that lead in the early game, but once that lead was lost, it was back and forth until Surely We Scale were able to cleanly finish it out with a couple of pretty big team fights. And for once, doing true by their name, Surely they scaled. And I'm going to take a moment to try and find someone for the interview. Give me 1 moment while I do get that set up. Da-da-da. Now it looks like we will be having someone joining us.
All right, I'm back. Or not back, but hello. How's it going?
You're back. Ooh. But I'm doing well. How are you?
A little stressed. That was a stressful game.
Yeah. And for everyone in chat, I am joined here by Memes, the main tank of Surely We Scaled. I mean,
Interim chief.
Yeah. But the main thing to say is that was a close game too. And even game 1 was a bit back and forth at the start, but you still managed to get the domination. And how does it feel?
It feels good. I was really worried coming into this series. So it's nice to, like, we played this team week 1 or week 2, I think. And they kind of beat the pants off us. So coming back and being able to, like, beat them in return feels good. I feel a little bad, though. One of their players had to, like, drop out at the last minute. And I feel like I'm happy to have beaten them, but sad that we didn't get to play against Raven. So shout out Raven. I'm sorry you couldn't play. I hope you're doing okay with the storms and whatever's going on your end.
Yeah, a lot of tornadoes going on right now. So not surprised that. Not surprised it's affecting us here as well in the NGS as well. But I mean, even with the sub player, you were still able to win. But do you think if Raven was there and they were able to play with their usual 5, do you think that would have made a big difference?
I do think so. I think for us, like, drafting into Raven is kind of spooky. Like, he played with us last season. And I know from that, like, he plays a lot of heroes. So I think it would have been like having that to worry about, because having that meant, like, him not being there meant there was a number of heroes that I think only he, or like he's the main person who plays them, that we just didn't have to worry about. So that definitely made both game 1 and game 2 a little bit easier. Game 1 we were worried about the game 2 we were worried about the Junkrat. And game 1, I think if it had been up, Mephisto would have been really good into our comp.
Yeah, for sure. But with this, it does seem like you're not going to be playing each other again for the season. This was your second match, and I mean, the season's basically over anyway at this point. But this does mean you could match up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd be really excited to play these guys again in the playoffs, and hopefully Raven's there for that. I have to say, I've really been enjoying the double round robin, which I think there might be one other div that's doing it, but like it makes, like, knowing that you're going to play each team twice instead of once. It means, like, if they beat you the first time, you have the chance to, like, come back and play them again, which feels really nice. So if we get to play against these guys in the playoffs again, I'll be really excited for it.
All right. And on that note, how are you feeling about your chances in the playoffs? Do you have any specific goals, or is it just play as well as you can and see how far you can go?
Yeah, play it like do the best of our ability. Like I'm already so happy with how our team has played, like and how much we've improved over the season. I feel like game one felt like kind of a culmination of that, of just feeling like everyone really crisp, really on it. Not even like in comms having to communicate a lot, just like you see something and everyone presses their buttons on it. Game two, like big shout out. Like I did not expect the stitches, and it definitely made the game a lot harder. There were like some insane hook gorges, and it made our win con of just like stall and play side lanes much harder there, because it like they were able to get some kills off that, and they got a lot of momentum. Like I think they got the second OBJ because of that, because they were able to kill the hook gorge the Rhaegar, and it was like, well, we just have to AFK now.
Yeah, I mean, that is the nature of the stitches. No matter what the position is, one hook can bring the game back. And I was actually going to ask about that as well, because stitches is usually not left out on Alterac Pass, but it was picked, I believe, in the 8-9 picks. Now, were you worried that the stitches could get picked, or was it something that just kind of slipped your mind entirely?
Super worried, because we have a noob. Like both a noob is very good on the map generally, but also specifically into stitches, like being able to, and I think I was able to get one save where, and also like Kagami played really, really well. There was a moment where like she got gorged, but I was able to like dig cocoon. So like being able to break up and sort of like free the person from the gorge, like obviously they're still going to be in a bad spot, but it's not going to be as bad as it would have been.
Yeah, for sure.
So I felt pretty good about it. And then like, if you're really good with it, like you can just smurf hook with beetles, but I don't think I did that much. I hit them with the big beetle, which is to say my body, several times. And
you got the beetle tech twice.
Oh, good to know.
So I'll tell you that much. There was a couple moments where you would have definitely gotten hooked, but with the extra shield coming out, the hook got tanked by your beetles instead. So you're already halfway there.
I feel like I probably should have taken beetles on one. W build is kind of a comfort for me though on a noob. So I think Beatles 1 would have made that a little easier, but it's still good to hear that we managed to block some of them.
Yep. And now with that, my final question. Are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans out there?
First, to all you wonderful viewers, watchers, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Next to you, Toki, like I know you've been streaming so much lately, and I'm so impressed. And we, and everyone else, like we really appreciate that. It really makes these games more significant and a lot more enjoyable. I think my shout outs, I need to shout out Ulysses this game. He didn't actually flame me at all for not shouting him out last time, but I think I've rotated through. So like Ulysses, you're a wonderful player. Really appreciate you. Thank you for saving our bacon and like always soaking the side lanes. Yeah, I think that's it. And to just my team, and then to Bunker Fun Time. Like I really appreciate them working with us on scheduling this and playing their best, even down one of their core members. I wish them all the best of luck in the rest of the season.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and congrats again on your domination.
Thank you so much. You have a great night, Toki B, and good night, viewers. Catch you all later. Bye.
Good night. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to top that closing statement by memes, but either way, good night, everyone. Thank you all for watching. Once again, quick shout out to today's sponsor, Legend of Mushroom. And Legend of Mushroom is an idle RPG game. You rub a lamp, you get new items, and you watch numbers go up. That's the whole game, and it's super relaxing. Sometimes it's just fun watching numbers go up, you know? I've played many games like this before, and it's been one that I've really been enjoying the past few days. And maybe tomorrow I'll be able to show a bit more of it on stream. But either way, thanks for watching. I do have another double cast tomorrow, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.